Listen, it's March 3rd. Do you know what that means? It means February is over, thank God. I don't care what your opinion is of the Gregorian calendar and when seasons start. February over, winter over. Okay? And I'm not a winter fan. Never have been, probably never will be. Okay, I like that part of winter. But I do have a lot of experience with winter, being raised in the Midwest and all. So this week I wanted to share with you the favorite things that got me through this past winter. Seasonal depression, more like seasonal obsession. Yes, this tiny beaded tulip coin purse did help me survive this winter. Thank you very much. We're going to be talking about books, personal care items, biblio games, art supplies, and hobbies and passions that have been fueling and healing my soul during these dire times. And just for the record, this is not me trying to make light of how bad things are or say you can fix things with material items, because you can't. We're just talking, okay? We're just talking. Let's start with some personal care items. Stinky. It's somewhat established lore on this channel that we like stinky things here. And not stinky in a bad way, stinky in a good way. Specifically, I love a good fragrance, and I'm constantly on the hunt for the perfect signature scent. So last time I shared a scent recommendation with you, I believe it was Desert Fleur by Bohemian Rev, which is a patchouli-y, spicy-y, vanilla-y scent, a favorite for sure. But this year, I've been looking for something a little weirder, and one thing I love is a smoky, spicy scent. So earlier this year, I picked up Victory Wolf by OLO, and this smells like a campfire, and not in a ooh, sexy campfire fragrance. No, literal burning wood, almost jerky-like, and I love that, because I often feel like when scents try to just smell somewhat like something, it ends up just smelling like generic cologne or fragrance, but this went all in. Recently, I picked up Replica by the Fireplace, and while this definitely has a little smoke, a little spice to it. Top notes are cloves, pink pepper, orange blossom, all things I love. Base notes vanilla and cashmerean. For some reason on me, and maybe this isn't a rare occurrence at all, it's really the base notes of things that stick around and become heightened on me. Specifically, if there's a sweetness in a perfume, it usually gets even sweeter when I wear it. I don't know, maybe I'm just extra sweet, a cutie patootie. I noticed when I wore this for a while, it turned very vanilla, almost a little marshmallowy on me. So, what a dynamic duo. Little spritz by the Fireplace, a little roll smoked jerky, aka Victory Wolf. It tones down the intense smokiness of this, adds a little bit of spiciness and sweetness of this. Ooh, I wouldn't say this is a spring fragrance combination, but I also don't really care about that. This smells good. If you do want a spring fragrance recommendation, I actually just got samples of basically the entire Aesop fragrance line. Virere is great. It smells like fresh blossoms on a tree, but it also is a little pepperminty. It's got a little bit of that snap on the front. So if that sounds interesting, maybe buy a sample. I used this sample site to get my samples, and they were cheap and quick. So highly recommend. Speaking of being stinky, let's talk about deodorant. Wow. Very dear, sweet viewer named Kim sent me this deodorant cream from Germany. It's called Deo Cream by Alverde, and it's in the orange scent. It smells so lovely. I'm not an antiperspirant girl. Haven't been for a decade. So I would say my body has already become acclimated to natural-ish deodorants, but you never know. When you're trying a new one, you're like, am I gonna smell like a dirty gym sock in approximately 30 minutes? No. I've never noticed anything but a powdery orange scent from this vicinity while wearing this. I will say the texture is a little bit gritty. Doesn't bother me, but might bother you, I don't know. And I don't know how to buy this if you're not in Germany, so maybe there's the internet for that, perhaps? Thank you, Kim. I love this. You knew I'd love it, and I love it. And thank you for sending me backups as well, because I need them. Should we talk about how beaded trinkets on eBay will save your sanity? Someone's gotta talk to me about it, because I clearly have a problem. I love a thing that looks like another thing, but a smaller, big version of it. For example, tiny beaded coin purse that looks like an actual little purse. So cute! This is Elisa held for Two's Company. How sweet. I wish I had had this when I was in Japan and needed somewhere to hold all of my 100 yen coins. Putting a tiny little purse on your purse, nothing could be better. Speaking of trinkets, I also got this little beaded star, tassel, number. She's whimsical. She's got a great color palette. You guys all know how I feel about a tassel. So sweet. Does this make me tempted to pick up a new craft, aka beading? You already know the answer to that. You already know. And now, if you don't mind, a quick word from today's sponsor. I remember when I first moved away from home for college, I loved to go grocery shopping. It felt like a little side quest that resulted in delicious meals and snacks. But somewhere along the line, the shine done come off that apple. What with the recipes and the planning, oof, it's a lot of brain power, and that is a hot commodity these days. So I'm so thankful to Hungry Root, the sponsor of today's video, for helping us to fix that. It's been a game changer. Hungry Root is like having your own personal shopper. They take care of the weekly grocery shopping, recommending healthy grocery options depending on your preferences and your nutritional needs. Seriously, I just took this test about my likes and dislikes, how many meals I wanted to be covered, and boom! Not only do we have a week's worth of breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks, but there's also recipes included, all of which are so easy to put together. So when we're low on that aforementioned brain power, we can just pick the next thing on the recipe list and off we go. So if you would like to try out healthful groceries made easy, for a limited time you can get 40% off your first box, plus a free gift in every box for life. Yeah, for life. Click on the link below or go to hungryroot.com and use the code Kathleen. That's 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life at hungryroot.com using the code Kathleen. Thank you, Hungry Root. I truly could not do it without you. Now back to the video. Another self-care, self-expression item, nail stickers. Hello? Yes, my nails say gamer girl. What else would they say? Listen, I love a fun nail moment, but I've never really been a nail girly, TM. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing my nails every week. I don't care if the polish is chipped. I just really see it as an extension of my personal expression, like a nice accessory to go with whatever else I've got going on. I think the favorite nails I've ever gotten were the flail nails. Anyways, I like a little picture or design on my nails, but actually drawing tiny little drawings on my nails, tough. That's where nail stickers come in. We got stars, we got sparkles. Am I tempted to design my own nail stickers now? Yeah, I won't even try and be cagey about it. Yeah, I am. Speaking of things I've designed myself, another favorite, ow, hold on, is this new cotton candy colorway of our thrift gremlin t-shirts. Didn't this color come out so cute? I wanted somewhere between a lilac purple and a little powdery pink, and I think that's exactly what we got with the puff texture. Ooh, perfect for spring. And if you're curious, the next drop of shirts where we'll have this pinky purpley color, we'll have the black colorway, and we'll have the clown core colorway back too. That's gonna be dropping on March 9th at noon Eastern time. So that's Sunday, March 9th at noon Eastern. Exciting! That's what this is all about. Shirts packaged up, ready for you. If you want to know more about that, you can come follow me on Instagram at kathleenillustrated. That's where I'll post more up-to-the-date updates about that. But just wanted you to know. Should we talk about books? Books I've been reading, books I've been loving? What have I been reading? Let me open Libby. So recently I talked about how much I loved Piranesi, and I recently learned that they're making a movie. Incredible. Also, speaking of that, Piranesi is about, in a nutshell, scientist who lives in a labyrinthine building filled with statues. And Louie Zong just released a new album called Sculpture Gallery that is so Piranesi coded, oh my gosh. So if you like Piranesi, listen to that album. And also go check out more of Louie's music on Bandcamp and buy it from him. It's great. Okay, after Piranesi, I started Lapvona. That was just too yucky for me to handle, especially with kind of a general sense of despair I've been feeling about the state of the world. So I put that down after about 50 pages. So beautiful. I don't typically highlight or like take notes about my books that I'm reading, but in the first 50 pages that I read of Lapvona, I highlighted at least 10 different phrases that were just beautiful, beautiful descriptions of the extremely sad and messed up world that exists in that book. So if you like beautiful prose, it's a great option. Just very yucky. So then after that, I was like, what's something that's kind of comfortable? Something that I know I will like. And I'm back on my Anne Leckie bullshit. If you don't know Anne Leckie, author of the Ancillary Justice series, which if you've read The Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells, you will love Anne Leckie. Sci-fi about AI and other space races that desire autonomy and have their own thoughts and feelings. I picked up Translation State by Anne Leckie, which is a story really about what it means to be human or a part of a community or a part of a culture through the lens of alien races litigating a treaty kind of. There's a lot of almost like courtroom talk, as well as a lot of interpersonal strife and exploration and learning about yourself. So I really like Translation State. If you liked Ancillary Justice, you will like that. It exists in the same universe. So then after Translation State, classic me, I'm like, I like that, give me 14 more of them. So I picked up another Anne Leckie. I started reading Provenance, which also exists in the same universe. Basically about a kid who really wants to impress and be accepted by their very high-powered political family, and the lengths that she'll go to get that, including smuggling stolen artifacts. So far, I'm not loving it as much as Translation State, but it's still a good time. Next on my list, I really want to read Mickey 17 because the movie just came out. We love Bong Joon-ho. And I think after that, I might be ready for a thriller. Something with twists, turns. So if you have any thrilling recommendations, let me know. And I don't want like a beach read thriller. Like I want it to be really good. You know what I mean? No pressure. No pressure. Something with a huge twist. I love a twist. And as always, let me know what you're reading, what you're liking. If you just read something maybe that you like hated, rant about it in the comments. I want to know. I'm almost more interested to know that than things that you like. Okay, speaking of media, oh my gosh, I just played a game that has stuck with me. I think I'm going to be able to taste this game for years to come, and it's called Mouthwashing. Now, if you're into gaming or watching streamers play games, you might have seen Mouthwashing. A lot of people did playthroughs of it kind of recently, but I would really recommend, if this sounds interesting, that you play it yourself instead of watching a replay of it. It's a psychological horror short story that you play through. It's not quite a walking simulator like Firewatch, something like that. You definitely still have to interact with the world, but there's a strict narrative that you are playing through about this crew of long-haul freighters that are carrying some cargo in space on a journey that's over a year long. And during that year, some really horrible things happen on the ship. And it's a story about what it means to be a bystander, what the repercussions of not taking action are, among other things. And let me just tell you, this game is dark. It's a psychological horror for a reason. There are some really sensitive subjects that are talked about. It's just not for the faint of heart, but I was so struck by the story that it tells about people. What does it mean to be a good person? What does it mean to be a bad person? Why do people do the things that they do? Of course, after I finished it, I jumped right onto Reddit to see what people were thinking about it, and there was one comment that just made me so mad. It was this beautiful thread of people pulling apart the deeper meanings and threads within the story, and someone was like, I don't know why anyone even likes this game. It's not even scary. I didn't even jump. My friend, that is simply not the point. It's one of the scariest things I've ever played, and it's not because of a jump scare. It's because, in the famous words of Stephen King, hell is other people. I believe there's another game by this publisher. I think it's called like How Fish Are Made. So I'm curious to play that. If you've played Mouthwashing and you know of other games that are similar to it, let me know. Please drop your recommendations down below. Now, totally changing topics in the video game sphere, I've also been gaming with my friends. I think this is one of the best and most favorite things I've done all winter. I've been gaming with my friends. Specifically, we started off playing scary games. We started with Phasmophobia, Content Warning, and you know, playing those games for hours on end, it's a little stressful, it's a little scary. So then I was like, happy Valentine's Day, y'all. I'm buying us all copies of Webfishing. And if you don't know what Webfishing is, it's basically a chat room game where you play a cute little low poly animal and you just go fishing. It's the Animal Crossing fishing mini game, and that's it. But you're in a lobby with either strangers or your friends. You can chat, you can clap for each other when you catch the golden manta ray, which I have not caught yet. And it started off with just myself and two friends, and then Gus, my spouse, who loves to fish, was like, what are you guys doing over there? Sounds like you're having a great time. I was like, do you want to fish with us? So Gus jumps in, another partner jumps in, another partner jumps in. So now we've got a whole squad. If you're looking for a game that play with your friends, that's really more of a chance to just catch up and chat with your friends, and you're kind of just playing in the background. Web fishing. So silly and cute. All right, should we talk about something a little broader and maybe a little more impactful? Something that's really helped me get through this winter is art and drawing. So I've been feeling recently a lot of pent up kind of Tasmanian devil energy. This feeling of really wanting to do something and not being quite sure what to do. Maybe you can relate with things happening in the world. Is the art I'm making political in nature? Not really, but it has been a really valuable and functional, I guess, exercise to help really kind of still the waters inside, you know? So I've been getting back into art. I've been painting, I've been drawing, specifically focusing focusing on some fashion illustrations, painting some expressive versions of style that I really like. I recently did a commission for a friend of some beautiful pastries. It's weird, after being an artist, I don't even know why I did quotes. I'm an artist, I'm allowed to say that my entire life. I never really put two and two together that I used it as a way to kind of clear out my feelings and get rid of some internal chaos in an external way. That seems obvious now, looking back at my entire life and how cathartic it feels to draw, but I don't know. Now that my brain is fully developed, I guess I've taken the time to really think about it as a self-soothing and a learning tool about myself. Anyways, if you're feeling chaotic inside, maybe try and scribble it out, as well as taking other actions, but that's a good one to literally help yourself and your body feel better. And speaking of some art supplies, I've been loving 2 pens, okay? Want to know what pens I'm loving? You pen hounds? This is one that I got in Japan. It's the Pentel PulaMan, and it's got this really weird look. It almost has a knife blade nib. Do you see that? And from my research, I learned that this came out as kind of a low budget version of a fountain pen back when fountain pens, like pocket fountain pens, were really popular, especially with students. This is like the economic version of that. It's not a fountain pen. It's actually a felt tip, so it has that nice felt tip feeling, kind of like a Papermate flare. There's a little bit of scratchiness still, and it's just a kind of a cool, interesting addition to your collection. Definitely feels like something that would be in the Lumen offices of micro data refinement. Is it micro or macro? Doesn't matter. You guys watching Severance? That's also a favorite. Have you seen this house? What a great show. Anyways, back to art supplies. My other favorite pen right now is the Pilot Bravo. I had never heard about this pen before. It's almost like a sign pen or a marker pen. It's got a really thick tip. And I first saw Heather using this. If you don't follow Heather, what are you doing? But it just has such a thick, bold line, and I was like, you know what? I think I need that in my life. So we got a skinny scratchy, and we got a thick, boldy dynamic duo. And I think that's it. Nothing extremely life-changing. And I'm definitely not sharing these things with you to be like, go out and buy this! Quick, buy stuff! No. If it sounds like something that you like and perhaps need and it would fit well into your life, consider it. Consider trying it, but this stuff isn't going to change your life in a huge radical way. It just might make it a little bit sweeter. So let me know down below, are there things in your life that have helped things become a little bit sweeter for you as well? I worried a little bit about making this video because, like I just mentioned, it's a little materialistic or consumeristic, but also things are crazy, and I didn't want it to be like, these things will fix everything in your life, in the world, because it won't. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. If there's one thing about this community, I know a lot of great things about this community, but one of the best things is that it's a soft place to land, very caring, and y'all often have really great tips about how to take action in your community and how to make a difference, even from your computer or your phone or your TV, wherever you're watching this. So let's chat in the comments. Again, Thrift Gremlin shirts are going to be available on March 9th at noon Eastern time. If that changes, I'll let you know here, but as of right now, that's when it's all going down. Thank you, Hungry Root, for sponsoring this video and helping to take the grocery shopping off of my brain plate. That's been so helpful. I love ya, even though you're stinky. In a good way, obviously, and a bad way. Goodbye. Bye.